Alright. I haven't done one of these in a while. So I'm going to turn this. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so there is an unbeatable ramble on my channel, but it's privated for personal reasons. But I did want to, I did want to cover the game in some like way, shape, or fashion. However, the main thing that I want to focus on is the first thing is because I don't think I've talked about it here. Musynx returns and kind of just the rising like nature of, I'm just gonna say AI sloth in the rhythm game space, which is extremely disappointing to say and to see. So Musynx Returns was a game I was actually looking forward to pretty heavily, just because I really liked the way the first game flowed, and I liked the song list in it. So, whenever they announced a new version that they were going to make, it was a little bit weird because to my knowledge, it kind of has the same Musdash model where you're going to keep adding songs to it, but I get it, sometimes like you lock yourself into a game design and you want to like do something new, sure. So I genuinely had been really looking forward to it, and then it came out, and I did play it, but I think I had refunded it within like the same like 2-day period. So the issue is the Steam AI disclosure warning does not encapsulate how they used AI in the game at all, and I honestly think that like you shouldn't just be allowed to say like assets, like, because that's for instance, like, oh, AI was used to assist in the generation of assets, right? Which is the exact same thing you can say for stuff like Clair Obscur, or Crimson Desert also came out with pretty like I guess like notable examples where it was brought up where they had used AI generated assets. In Clair Obscur's case, it was replaced within a week, and it was clearly a placeholder image. Like, you can't hold that into the same way of like, let's say somebody also saying, oh, AI generated assets, where like they've, I don't know, like AI generated UI elements, backgrounds, cover art, like those feel vastly different in magnitude. So I feel like the AI disclosure there just wasn't fair. And I will say one thing on me is that like I had never actually listened to the trailer music, because why would I? I just wanted to see how the game looked, and that's enough for me, right? Because I don't know, I play a ton of rhythm games, so I know more so like how to summarize what I'm looking for. Rather not, I don't super need to hear what I'm looking for, right? So anyway, flash forward where it's brought to my attention that the trailer music for Musynx Returns was made using AI generated tools, or at least the firm belief is. I think it's kind of apparent and obvious, but I don't know if that's been confirmed or not, just because I separated myself from the space, like, kind of as this entire thing was blowing up. A lot of the artists that were contracted to talk about the game were just not informed in the slightest about what the actual depth of AI usage was, which is really disheartening. Some of them had said that if they had known how AI was used, they wouldn't have done it, which I think is fair. It's just overall disappointing. But the issue isn't necessarily Musynx Returns burning me in a sense, or a game like coming out with AI generated assets. That's something that's going to kind of always be an issue. So it's kind of, not to say that the onus is on the consumer, but like, for instance, there's so much garbage that gets put out like 24/7 into, like, whether it's music, whether it's books, whether like we have the ability to create from anywhere at the current point in state, and put out wherever we want to, which I think is ultimately a blessing, but it also means that people that want to take advantage of trends or people that want to just take advantage of certain groups, like, can easily do that. So for instance, like Steam asset flips that have been like a rampant problem for like the past 10-20 years, where they'll just take pre-existing assets and then flip it into a really simple game and then sell it for like $5 on Steam or some shit like that, right? Not saying like that there isn't some artistic integrity there, but it's just like it's one of those like pretty obvious, like this is like quickly done as like a cash grab, right? And AI generation has really made this worse, because now you can make something resembling originality but still not an ounce of artistic integrity or merit. So in a matter of fact, it's actually more harmful to the arts to perpetuate this type of thing. But hey, it is a very loaded topic, and I feel as though that there is a line that needs to be drawn where it is moral, ethical, acceptable. But actually defining that line is different, because everyone's going to disagree on it. But I just think there should be some type of framework we can refer to that, at least at bare minimum, industry should follow. I don't think that this will ever happen, because trying to actually fight for change in this way is borderline impossible. But it'd be nice. Okay, so for instance, because I started off with Musynx returns, this is not the only example. This is the only example that I have actually put myself in a position where I cared about. Because all the other examples that I can immediately think of that have done this, I already knew. I didn't want to participate in any way, shape, or form in this game. So this sucks, but it's not like an outlier. And seeing it in rhythm game spaces specifically feels extremely disgusting. Not to say that other genres of games aren't like as artistic, because that's not at all what I'm trying to say, right? But whenever you think about a rhythm game, it's an art game. Like, the music, it's music centered. There's visuals, like the visuals are only there to support the experience of like finding like a way to like experience the music in a sense. So they're art games, first and foremost. So like seeing something like that, and then like the art steal machine or the art devalue machine essentially just breaking it, it's really sad to see. And I'm kind of tired of seeing all these AI generated rhythm games or AI generation in rhythm games. It doesn't need to be there. AI generated music just to add music is stupid. AI generating art just to add more music so that way you can have like covers and stuff like that is stupid. And this is gonna sound horrible to say, but you can make a visually unappealing rhythm game that's still really fun to play. Or you can make a rhythm game with really good music and the game can just suck, and that's fine. Like, I don't know. If you aren't okay with like putting out something subpar and you want to put something that's actually going to be amazing or well received, then this is a horrible way to do it. It's hard to look at some of these projects and believe that they're actually trying to do good or put out a good product, because like, if you weren't okay with like your game falling short in like other metrics, then like why do you think that like in a creative dominant space and genre would using AI generation truly be an acceptable thing? And I'm sure that there's somebody who's a rhythm gamer who's really passionate about AI generation. Good for you. Most of us are not. Anyway, like, I don't know, it's so different seeing like it used like in other games, it feels like, because I feel like other games still require a lot. There's more going on in them, right? There's more ways you can either hide it, there's more ways you can either mitigate how big of an impact it is. But whenever it's in a rhythm game, it's kind of like there's only so many so much stuff you look at in a rhythm game, right? And whenever you generate any of it, motherfucker. I don't know if you guys hear that. I'm gonna assume it gets brought in. My desire to do these raw is really really fucking me up right now. Oh well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm semi-passionate about this because it matters to me, and it's disappointing to see. And I don't want a world with more rhythm games if it's at the expense of having like this AI generated garbage in them. Okay, I could go on for this for like a long time, but like that's just kind of like my initial thoughts, and it's why there won't be a Musynx ramble. Frustrating. I love Steam's return policy though, because got a refund on that pretty quickly. I haven't checked the page to see if they've updated their AI disclosure. I highly doubt they have. But it's just disappointing, and it's one of those things where I've heard some people say, oh, they just need to fix this, like I'm not buying this until they fix it, and my opinion is they've already demonstrated in a creative genre that they are fully okay with putting out something and then not actually fixing it. Like they didn't care, because if they cared enough that, and they've already delayed the game multiple times, they didn't delay it to replace those assets, so they don't care. And if they do fix it, it's going to be because it's a responsive thing, not because they actually think it's integral to the identity of the game. So that's my issue. Like they burned us, and I don't think that they should be given a second chance, because this isn't the type of thing that like you really get to come back from. Make another project if you want to prove it. Because you have shitty origins here. It's going to be hard to look at anything you do positively from this point on as well-intentioned. So like, I don't know, step back, or just double down. And they double down, they have been. One of my friends, there's another one that came recently, which has a similar issue, and one of my friends have been like way more into the development of that one, to the point where they were going to schedule an interview with the devs, and then they eventually canceled it because, and quote them, I don't think that I can ask you questions or have any discussion with you without this becoming a conflict. And you know what, I respect that. I kind of wish it had still happened, because I think they deserve shit for this, but theirs is a lot worse though, because much more egregious cases of AI generated music. And then like, I don't know, this isn't like a brag thing, this is just a truly like, you don't need AI to do this. When I was in college, and just like a span of like a week, I had made like a puzzle rhythm game, and like the rhythm mechanics of it worked well. The assets were garbage, just because that was the part I cared the least about, and the music was just music that I had made. So whatever projects I had finished up at the time, or whatever I felt like had like a decent enough audio quality that I could just stick in to prove that this worked. But yeah, the actual like programming of a rhythm game, depending on like how like deep you want it to be, is not that bad. So I don't know. Anyone can make games, truly, which is beautiful. But then we get into these positions where everyone makes a game, and some people care way less about maintaining artistic integrity through game development. And that's not to say every single game is like some deep and profound artistic take and interpretation, because it's not. But there is an art form and an expression of like the creators in like every single game. But whenever they're fully AI generated, it feels like the only thing you take away from it is that the creator just does not value, or I don't know. I've gone on for this for like 15 minutes, so I'll bookend it. There's another rhythm game that's came out recently. It had some translation issues, so that might out exactly what I'm talking about, which has been really funny to see. Like some of the stuff gets translated as like in all caps "end fascism," which to be fair, I think is fucking cool, and I think they should have kept it. I realize that it's not matching the original translation in the slightest, but I think just like the idea of just a character shouting "end fascism" just goes hard. Oh yeah, okay, so the last episode was the God Hand Ramble. I've since beaten Act 1 of God Hand. My opinions of that game haven't really changed at all. I don't think modern most keyboards are really built for what that game demands. And I can go into the actual the technical aspect of like why I think this. But the game's so good. It feels really good to play. It feels very precise. I like there's fluidity in how difficult you can actually make it on yourself. There's so much to it that I think is just really fun. I don't super like how some of the grid stuff is done. So, for instance, getting used to the fact that you could press any button for any grid was a bit weird. Playing at higher difficulties though, I think I really enjoy it, and it makes the game make sense. So, yeah, genuinely not that many complaints. The UI is sick. I like the music choices that it's in there. I kind of wish there was a bit more of like some genres, but the gameplay is solid. The music that I like that's in there is solid. I don't know, just a really, really good experience. No, okay, unfortunate. But yeah, so there's been some good rhythm games like recently that have been really fucking cool. I haven't decided if I'm gonna buy that new one or not, but I might. And then I never actually got to do a ramble on it, so my quick thoughts is Unbeatable, amazing game. I love the blend of rhythm gameplay in the regular like story mode. Keeps it entertaining. The colors are vibrant. The way the UI is done is very pretty. I like the mixture of keeping 2-track just because it keeps it simple but also kind of interesting, and then the swap from left and right. While it doesn't really do anything gameplay wise, I think that's just kind of like a cool thing. There's a lot to like here. Whenever I played through the story mode, there was a lot going on in my life, and the story cut me in a very specific way that not many things could have in that moment. I don't know how obvious that would have been, but as in like what specifically it was, but I don't want to talk about like what it was specifically, but yeah, there was a couple points in the game where I just kind of had to stare at the screen and just feel, which is pretty rare for a game to touch me like that. I think the last game that did that to me was Xenoblade 3. And ironically enough, that was also due to external factors, so. So, okay, funny thing is I did mention making my own rhythm game in college. So, I might actually be doing this again, but not in college and as a bit more of a serious project. I don't really want to go into detail about what the idea is, but yeah, I do need to find more visual artist people for this project, just because I don't trust myself with doing all the UI elements I want to do, and I would need more people to help with audio and music, just because while I do definitely feel like I could do everything, it'll be easier if I don't, and plus we can diversify styles that way. Okay, a couple other things is, I also wanted to do this recording for, what's it called? The Wuthering Waves songs that got added to Musynx. I did genuinely really enjoy that. The only problem was that they also felt like about pretty easy. But that's fun. That's fine. They can be easy. I'm also just like a little bit disappointed that's only 3 songs. Chasing Daylight, running for Your Life, and then Catch Me If You Can. Which, to be fair, on my prediction, those were 3 songs that were literally there. It's just dang. Would have loved some other stuff there. Anyway, this is I think this one's episode 3. I haven't tried this actually. I don't know if I can do this or not. I think the coolest thing about Unbeatable for me is that I had literally kept up with this game's development for years, so it was really cool to see like actually come out. Alright. It's this requirement is more of like just I wanna bear read it just to make sure I'm not like messing up. But since the general talk today has just been like games, Pragmata, very fun. Story's kind of weak, but it's Capcom, so kind of expected. I love the gameplay in Pragmata. It's so much fun. I think it's just I like grid traversal, and doing that in real time while also maintaining an FPS is just kind of like a cool idea. it's one of those things where you just feel really good pulling it off. So. Oh, also happy M3 to all who celebrate / go. I think one of my friends is soloing a booth right now because their duo didn't man the booth with them. So that, I don't know. It seems like a good time. Maybe one day I'll be a dope enough artist and I'll have my own booth there, but I don't know. I really wish I had a sound Voltex controller. I think that could also be a fun one to play sometime. I love Voltex so much. Oh my god. Okay. I lost complete focus there. Sound Voltex is really fun. I really want to do that one. I am so ass at it, and the game is so difficult. But it's really fun. Really fun. If you can make it to an arcade that has an actual cab, I'd recommend it. Anyway, this is just I didn't really come into this with like the expectation of like having a ton to talk about. I just knew that I needed to get my music thoughts out, so I've done that, and that's kind of just the main thing. No big, insightful, and profound thoughts here, at least not in this one. And then I guess I do semi-update just for my own personal life. Because I come back to these every now and then, just to see where I'm at currently and like where I was at. I don't know if I mentioned it, but there's this person I work with, and it hasn't been released yet, but I'm super excited to see what the reception is to it. Just because I think I did a really good job on all the effects mixing. It's got a really solid vibe. And then also I emulated pretty freaking well club acoustics. And then just mixed up some of the music that I've made in the past. So I'm really hoping that the reception there is good. And the best part is like the music wasn't finished, so it gives like a kind of like tonal imperfection there. So I didn't need to like stronghold that there, since it's already there. It makes it feel like a little bit more real. My band keeps pestering me about new music, so that'll get done eventually. There's new instruments, so I'm thinking about maybe like doing a composition that would like incorporate some of those. I have no idea if the audio cutout actually goes through in the recording or not, but my audio cuts out like every now and then, and I assume it's because of data transfer, because I have a ton of externals taking up all my USB slots currently. And then this will be episode 3, which means I finally get to do the funny thing I was gonna do for episode 4. And then we can move on to episode 5, which I have an actual timeline that needs to get done by. So I don't know how I'm going to record episode 5 yet, but I know I need to. Okay, yeah, not sure what else, but I do wanna play like one more song. There's like one more unbeatable song I just wanna throw in here. But yeah, this is just a really simple one. Just overall, these are rambles, right? I don't know. I just be saying shit. Blah. I hope to have a webcam back eventually for these, but I don't know when that'll happen. My webcam has been going strong for like 5-6 years, and it was kicking the bucket after like 2, so it makes perfect sense that like it's on its like last legs, but it's just kind of a shame. But now I'm a working member of society, so I can maybe get something better. See, now the subconscious, sorry, my brain jumped around. Back to the whole like throwing my own music in somebody else's like project. The fun thing is that it's a subversion, because at least 2 pieces from that are going to be released sometime this year in my upcoming EP. So it'd be really funny for the crossover of people who listen to that to find that music and be like, oh, that's crazy. Which the terrifying thing is then I get crossover of people that know me through music and also through what this person does, which is fine. But it'd just be funny for me. So my band kind of hates me because we wanna do an unbeatable show where we all get blitzed and then cover some unbeatable music, because I think that'd be fun. We all think it'd be fun. We all dig the album. And the only problem is that I had this really funny idea that we like 3D print or just like get some really cheap, non-intrusive model of an acoustic guitar, and then one of us will dress up as a cop, and I'll break it over their head. I've been told that this might not go over well. Yeah, no, they're a little bit frustrated at the idea just because I bring it up every single time. But I think it'd be cool. I think it'd go hard. I think it'd genuinely go hard, and I think we should. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated because currently it's still just in the talks, but that might happen eventually. Okay, yeah. Well, hopefully these next couple episodes won't be as far far apart. But yeah, it's been great. Thanks for listening. And don't know when you guys would listen to this. Don't know who is listening to this, but just I hope everything's going well.